All right, shalom, peace and blessings. Want to get right into it. Man, last week was interesting. Overall, if we're looking at the dollar right now, the dollar index has been in this downtrend from this top, right? From this top of supply, we started creating downward trend structure, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low on the retest, lower low form, and we pulled back. We started last week with a nice corrective move up, but if we look to the left, like right here, we see price actually broke this level of structure. We broke this level of demand or support. So normally after that, you'll like to see some type of pullback or retest and a continued flow, but it pumped up higher. And really what it did was, looking at this, price actually came to retest previous structure low. All right, so if we look at it from this perspective, we can see we got a retest of that low and price rejected. All right, so it's still in downward trend structure, even here on the 4 hour. So coming into this week, it is NFP week. So we could, for right now, at least in the near term, it's looking like dollar is going to continue bearish. All right. So we could see this continue to flow to the downside. The fundamentals are playing a big part in this, especially with no signs of they did a pause in rate hikes and things of that nature. So these next 2 weeks are going to be crucial, because the last 2 weeks of December of the year is likely going to be, not much value. But right now, we're going to see increased volume over the next 2 weeks, because we got NFP this week, and then we have FOMC the following week. So this is also a way you could look at this. If you look to the left, I said it retested that low, but also looking to the left, this was a past level of supply here. All right, so it rejected from that structure, and that's where we could potentially fall from. All right, now if we continue to fall down here, breaking back below structure, then it's likely we're going to come down, I would say, at least to this level of support around here, around 102, right? Or a little lower, at least around this level, possibly a little lower into 101 area before price then start to potentially move to the upside. All right. So we can see real quick, also looking at the yen index, because, I like trading yen pairs, and we can see the daily closed bullish engulfing. This has been in a downtrend, though. This has been in a crazy downtrend. But we eventually, we're getting some correction now. Here on the weekly, got a big bullish engulfing. All right, so it is a possibility that we could see this head up a bit higher, maybe a slight pullback, but see this at least head up to this level of structure. All right, so we can see how these pairs are lining up with the indexes. All right, starting with GU. So I was looking at a sell on this on GU. And this is when, because seeing how the dollar, I was looking at a sell last week, ended up being wrong on this, because I was still overall bearish on the dollar, but seeing how the dollar pumped and was creating that bullish move, I was looking for a corrective play here on GU, but it didn't play out. And this is a part of trade, nothing's 100%, even though more often than not, you can see it rejected from that resistance. More often than not, looking to the left, right? It's a major level of supply over here. So normally, more often than not, if I see a nice evening star rejection that I got here on the daily, that plays out more often than not. All right. But understand the fundamentals, what's going on with the dollar. It continued to pump. So price closed above that evening star. And we can see even here on the 4 hour, we got to close below. And I was looking for this retest and fall, like one more fall, but it didn't give me that. So now we just go back to the drawing board. We reanalyze and we see what's happening. Now I can clearly see the dollar is continuing bearish. So I would expect GU to continue to the upside. All right. So we can even see here on the 4 hour, basically just retest the structure. So maybe a slight pullback, but overall, I would say look for another wave up. So either a pullback first, right? Either a pullback first and then a continuation, right? Or price can just continue to rise. Like if it just continue to, sometimes, when it gets around these highs, they want to slightly break the high first, then maybe pull back or break the higher and retest. So we just got to react to what price gives us. All right. But overall, I would say look for another wave up now on GU because of the bearish dollar. And if we look at this here, the news events, Chef, Swiss franc, CPI, Monday evening, at least in my time, we got Australian, the rate statement, Australian dollar. Tuesday, job openings, PMI services, and then, Wednesday is non-foreign employment change. Also, the rate statement for the CAD, unemployment claims on Thursday for the dollar, US dollar, and then NFP is on Friday. All right, non-farm employment change, average hourly rating, earnings. And then, yeah, so we're going to see how this plays out. All right, like I said, the following week is FOMC, which is major. FOMC tends to really shake up the market. So if they don't raise rates, you know, then we can continue to likely see the dollar probably continue down to end the year, possibly even at the top of the new year, January, we can see maybe more moves to the downside. So we'll see how things play out. All right, so that's GU bullish. EU, so I expected a move down here on EU. So EU, it was interesting. Some of these dollar pairs gave the move I was looking for. So we had the drop, right? It gave us that drop down from structure, and then it rejected. All right, so now seeing that the dollar is setting up to go bearish, right? Look to the left. EU rejected from, you know, this level of structure, right? That it rejected from in the past. You see here in the past, it rejected from there and pumped like that in the past. So it's looking like we setting up for something similar with the dollar forming to be bearish. We see we got this like doji type close here on the daily. All right, the 4 hour, we got a nice hammer, a pin bar type projection. All right, so maybe one more retest slightly. You know, overall, I would say we could start to look for potential moves to the upside on EU. AU, same thing with AU. All right. Same thing. All right, so we can see here on AU, price goes huge bullish engulfing right there on the daily. The weekly is also closing firm above that level of structure. So it's still showing signs to just continue up. AU actually caught some of this drop. You know, when I saw this pullback, price retested here, I caught this drop, and it actually reached the target I was looking for, which is this level of structure. And we pumped from that level. All right, so now you could look at areas like this, all right, get some type of slight pullback and ride the next wave up. Possibly, I would ideally like to see a pullback first and then look to catch that next wave. You know, but it is around this high, this top. So maybe it want to slightly break it first and then come. You know, we just got to react to what price gives. And, you know, but I will only look for buys this week on AU. Gold went crazy. Boom to the upside. Actually pushed towards the all-time high, right? It's hard to tell if it actually broke it, but it looked like it definitely reached it, like right around here. Around 2075. So it's right there at that all-time high. It's looking like it's set to break through it, right? This daily candle was very strong, right? Huge close, but we are at all-time high. So we could see a fall from this level first, right? On a pullback, possibly set up for another wave up. If the dollar continues bearish, I would expect this to continue. And, you know, possibly we could see it break past that all-time high, all right? So maybe a pullback first and then go. All right, but it still could break through first, then maybe retest or pull back. USD Swiss franc. So we can see this also had a big move to the downside, man. Just huge drop on Swiss franc, USD Swiss franc. We can see the monthly is even very bearish. So now coming in with the dollar still being bearish, we broke below this level of structure, level of demand. All right, had a nice daily closure right here. So we're sitting at this level of support, right? This wick support. All right, but I am expecting USD Swiss franc, especially if the dollar continues bearish, to continue from here. So maybe from here we get some type of slight pullback. I'm actually in this sell. So maybe from here we get a slight pullback. I enter somewhere up here and then get another wave down. All right, so I would look for this to come down. You know, if we break below here, then definitely, you know, we could reach down towards these levels, possibly all the way down to this level of demand. All right, where price formed this double bottom and then went. So we could head down towards those levels. Now looking at the yen pairs. All right, looking at GJ. So GJ was a sell that I gave out. I gave this sell out, and this was a nice move. So now looking at this, it's interesting because price found resistance from this major level of supply. If you look way to the left, right, this was a major level of supply in the past. All right, so that's what we're rejecting from now. And price did give that daily rejection, the 4-hour rejection. But right here, it's kind of lagging, it's kind of ranging around this level of support. So this is an area where it could potentially pull back from. All right, but if price continues to just break below here, then chances are we're going to see if move even further, especially if the yen index continues up. We could see this break and continue down further towards these levels of support. All right. Now, if we look at EJ gave an even bigger move. All right. And we had a major fall to the downside. And we look to the left, we broke this level of structure. All right, to the left, we even could look at it like this. Right, we broke this level of structure. So now moving forward, I'm expecting continued sales. All right, I would like to see a retest of this. A retest of this will be ideal for a nice setup, move down, another move down. UJ, same thing. We know the dollar is bearish and also the yen has been pumping. So that's just more confluence for more sales on UJ. Price came up and we basically retested previous structure low right here. And we see here on the daily, we got a nice bearish engulfing close, right? Breaking below this level of support, this wick, right? So here, I would expect to see a continued drop. All right, ideally, I would like to see a pullback first, right? Slight pullback and then catch the next wave down. All right. Looking at the daily, the next level, I would look for somewhere around here, this level of support, around 146. All right, will be the next target that I would look for. All right, so ideally, I would like to see a pullback of this first, for the next wave down. And lastly, UCAD. UCAD was a crazy trade. I actually took some off early. I was kicking myself because, it hit all the targets I expected, but I did get some profit from it. But we could see price had a big fall. So moving forward on a weekly, we still bearish. The daily, we're just at an interesting level here on UCAD. So in order to look for more sales, I would say look for a break of this level it's at now, right? Either a break of this and then pull back a retest, or price could possibly pull back first, maybe pull back and then catch the next wave. But if the dollar continues bearish, we could look for UCAD to continue to the downside as well. All right, you can take that trend line. If we want to pull back first, possibly something within these levels. All right, if we hold, we can see the next fall. All right. So those on the pairs on the watch these for this week. Like I said, I'm still currently in one trade. I'm in USD Swiss franc sell. I'm gonna have my eyes really highly on some of these yen pairs too. I'm looking at EJ on that retest, and I'll see what else is top, on my list, to actually trade. Because I cover these multiple setups, but I like to narrow it down to maybe my top 2 or 3 for the week, that I look to potentially trade. So I'll keep y'all up to date. If you are in the Discord, if I see any signal opportunities, anything like that, I'll keep y'all up to date. If you're in the Telegram as well, I will continue to send out setups I'm looking to take or setups for you that you can look to take that are good setups. But be sure to like and subscribe. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like the video as well. I appreciate that. And let's catch these pips, man. Let's really end this year strong because, like I said, these next 2 weeks, crucial. So we got to come through like Kobe in the 4th. Let's get it. Shalom, shalom.